In this video, I'm going to walk you through the analysis of how you can tell if an owner should rent their property out as a furnished rental, so Airbnb, hybrid strategy, short midterm rental, or if they're simply better off renting it out as a long-term rental and you not co-host in it. Okay. Now it sounds silly, Bailey. Why wouldn't I want to co-host the property? Well, if the property isn't going to bring in enough money as a short-term rental, midterm rental, or hybrid, which does happen, by the way, okay? Airbnb is not better 100% of the time. A lot of the time, an owner will make more money as a short-term rental or mid-term rental or using a hybrid, but sometimes some properties just mathematically make more sense to rent out as a long-term rental, given all the expenses associated with running it as a Airbnb. Okay. So let's walk through how you can tell which strategy you're better off going with. So that way you can tell an owner, hey, listen, honestly, I think that this property doesn't make sense to rent out as an Airbnb, and here's why. Or, hey, this does make sense. This is better than a long term rental, and here's why. So let's start over here. We're going to start with our projections of how much the property is going to bring in as either a short term rental, mid term rental, or hybrid. So we just showed you how to do the analysis on how to tell how much a property is going to bring in. So you're literally just going to plug and play those numbers right into here. So let's just say we did our numbers and we think that the property is going to bring in $250 a night and it's going to be 85% occupied. That means it's going to bring in $77,000 for the year or $6,400 per month. Okay, that's just the estimate. And Airbnb fee, we're going to put on the 3% Airbnb fee, and we're going to say that our co-hosting fee is 20%. So we're going to leave that there. If you are charging more or less, you can change that number. And then you're going to say, how much is a cleaner going to charge per month? And we're going to say, let's just say they're going to charge $150 per clean, and we're going to need 4 cleans per month on average. Okay. Then that means our cleaning fee is going to be $600. Okay? These are just rough numbers. So we can tell here that our monthly fee that we're going to get from this property is going to be roughly $1,100 profit to us. Okay. Which is awesome. That's great. Now, let's go over to this column here. Okay. So this column shows how much the owner would make if they rented out their property as just a traditional rental, not furnished, not short-term rentals, not mid-term rental, not hybrid, literally just a long-term rental on a 12-month lease. Okay. So you would find the rent number right here. Just like I showed you in the previous video by going on Redfin and looking at the properties that are similar, that are unfurnished and seeing how much they're charging. So pull that number and let's just say for this property's sake, we're going to say it's going to be $3,500 a month that we can get for this property. Okay. The owner's mortgage. This is something where typically it's not something that an owner will just tell you straight up, oh, my mortgage is this. It is something though that you can find fairly easily. So let me give you a prime example of this. Okay. Let me go to Redfin here and let me go to this property. So this is a property that I co-host, okay? And you can see if I scroll down, and by the way, you can just do the same thing by looking up the address of the property. You want to look up what price it last sold for. So I'm going to scroll down until I see it say the price that it sold for. And I'm going to say, okay, $306,000 it sold for. Okay. And then the question is, okay, what were the interest rates in November of 2022? So I'm going to literally look up interest rates for residential real estate November 2022. Okay. And I'm going to say, okay, after peaking in November at 7%. Okay. So it's saying it's a 7% interest rate. Then I'm going to look up mortgage calculator. Okay. Look up mortgage calculator. I personally like this one from Bankrate. They're all basically the same, but I don't know. I just like this one. So I'm going to say, okay, let's just say he bought it for 306,000. And you never exactly know how much someone puts down, but 20% is just a safe bet. So we're going to say 20%, 30 years, leave that for that. And then it's a 7.08 rate. So we're going to put in 7.08. Oops. 7.08. Great. And then what we're going to do is we're going to delete taxes. We're going to delete insurance. We're just going to look at the principal and interest number, which is 1,641. So then we're going to go here and plug that in 1,641 and press enter. And you'll notice too that it automatically applies over here, which we'll get to in a couple minutes. So a traditional management fee, if they were to rent this out and had a manager, they'd be paying 10%. This is pretty standard. I wouldn't really change this. That's pretty standard, like I said. Vacancy rate, again, a 10% vacancy is just a nice, easy number to save for reserves. Again, repairs, 5 to 10% is a fair number. I just leave it at 5. For insurance, this is something that we're gonna change over here that we'll get to in a second. So let's just look through this. Okay. Now so this is essentially up to this point as accurate as we can get for what this owner would make as a long-term rental. Now, for this bottom portion, okay, we're gonna actually fill out some of these parts first, and then we'll kind of see the full picture in a second. So we have monthly Airbnb revenue. This is gonna stay the same because this is just again pulled from our number over here. Expenses. So we have their mortgage. Again, this is just pulling from the mortgage that we put here. Supplies. Again, I would say 50 to $100 is a fair estimate. If it's or if it's 4 plus bedrooms, you can put $100 for supplies. If it's less, you can keep 50. Again, these are just rough numbers on a monthly basis. Electric, again, same thing. It depends if the house is heated by electric, by gas. But if it's 3 bedrooms or less, $60 for electric, $60 for gas, $75 for water, $75 for cable is a decent estimate. If you have a 4 or 5, 6 plus bedroom house, I would just simply double these numbers for electric, gas, water, and even internet as well. So 3 bedrooms or less, these numbers are decent ballparks. If yours is any bigger, I'd honestly just double it. Okay, and then for the taxes, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to Redfin, and just to show you, if you scroll all the way down, okay, if you continue to go all the way down, you're gonna see sale history and tax history. So look at the most recent year tax rate. So 2,297, and then I'm gonna pull out my calculator, 2297, divide that by 12 to get the monthly price. So $191 per month in taxes. So I'm gonna put that right here, 191. And you're going to see as well, it's going to update automatically right here as well. And then let's go to the insurance part. And then next up, we have insurance. So what we're going to do for the insurance, again, just get a rough estimate for this guest, is we're going to go to Redfin again. And if you just type in, let's see, if you scroll down, if you do Command F and you look for insurance, it'll pop up. So this will give you a rough estimate. So $182. And just to show you where this was, you scroll down, keep going, keep going. It will give you a rough estimate for the insurance cost. Okay, so $182. So we'll plug that in here. And again, that's on a monthly basis. And then you'll see it's going to update here as well. Repairs, I'd keep this at the same 5% as we did over here. Cleaning fee, that's going to pull in automatically from over here. Management fee, again, this is going to be your co-hosting fee. That's going to pull in from this number. So if you change this to, let's just say 18%, you'll see it updates here as well. But we're going to keep 20 because that's what we strive for. The 3% Airbnb fee, we're gonna keep that in there. And then we're gonna see the total STR owner cash flow. So with this strategy, they're making $2,400 worth of cash flow per month. Okay. And this again after paying you your fee versus the long-term rental strategy, they're only making $1,000, $1,200 profit. So you can see from this strategy, they're making more money by doing it as a short-term rental than they are as a long-term rental. Okay. And then if we scroll down even more, we also can calculate the additional upfront costs that they are going to incur if they don't already have their property furnished. Okay. So again, this is optional to include if their property is not already furnished. For this section, what I would do is for the furniture and supplies, take the square footage of their property. So for this one, this is 1,000. Let me just type this up. 1,370 square feet and just multiply it by 12. So 16,440. 16,000. So I can actually just do what I just showed you. So 1,370. Oops. We'll go back here. Equals 1,370 times 12 is going to equal 16,440, which is the average cost that if you were to throw out an estimate, that's how much it would cost to furnish this place. because we estimate the furniture cost is going to be roughly $12 per square foot. Pictures are going to cost, let's just say $300 to set up. And if you're going to charge any setup fees, that could be design fees, whatever it's going to be, that could be extra, let's just say $2,000, whatever you're going to charge them for it. So you're going to have to show them, hey, you're going to make, let's say, an extra $1,200 per month, but you are going to have to put up front, let's just say $18 to $20,000 to actually get this up and running. So this also shows you too, hey, listen, it's going to take you roughly 7 months to get your money back. And then it's going to be strictly cash flow from there. Okay. So I like this because it also shows that, listen, yes, you're going to have to put a little bit more up front, but it's really a short term investment to get an extra $1,200 per month every single month and for years to come. Okay. So this is the analysis tool that you can use to say, hey, number one, does this make sense as a short-term rental, mid-term rental hybrid versus just a traditional rental? And you're able to see how much money you're going to make from this property. One other thing I do want to show you, just as an example, let's just say this property is only going to make $125 a night. Okay. Or actually, let's just say I'm going to play around with this a little bit. Let's just say it's going to make $185 a night. Okay. Or yeah, we'll say $185 a night, and these are the stats. If you look at the numbers here, they would make either $1,200 as a long-term rental, or they make the same $1,200 as a short-term rental, but they're gonna have to put in $18,000 for all these furniture costs. At this point, it might make more sense for the owner to do a long-term rental, or at least it's a way for you to be communicative upfront with them that, hey, listen, here's what the numbers are looking like, to just so that they know what to expect. Because if they go, a couple months, are like, really, I thought the short term rental thing is gonna be so profitable. I thought we're gonna like make way more money. Well, listen, you're gonna make more money eventually, or like after you pay off the furniture. But in this case scenario, right, like they're making basically the same amount, whether it's a long term or a short term. So why make the investment of doing the upfront cost for 18,000 if at the end of the day they're going to be making the same amount? Okay. So if you get to this point and you're like, these numbers are basically the same and they have to put in money, then you might want to advise them, hey, you might want to just do a long term rental. If you don't want to put all this money in, it might make more sense. Or, hey, this is what it's going to look like. Okay. So that's how you use the tool to say, hey, which strategy is going to work. I hope that helped, and I'll see you guys in the next video.